Okay, guys. So today I'm making a video about something kind of odd. Uh, and you're gonna wonder what in the world I'm making a video about. Um, well, let me just first say that in the world we live in, we don't know what's gonna happen. Just like I did with my banking account. My banking account. That's obviously proof right there. In the world we live in, we don't know what's going to happen. Well, if you if you look at what happened to me in my banking account and everything else, well, you can kind of understand that things was just not so pretty, right? I mean, it was kind of ridiculous actually. Um, and I didn't even do anything. Well, that's kind of proof that the world throws us some surprises, and especially when we're not even doing anything. I didn't have no cash on me at that time. I did take cash with me at the bank to the bank, meant to Walmart that night to actually use. I planned on using the money from my banking account. And this was late at night when that happened to me. It was kind of like evening time, right? Like late. And I mean, I didn't know that this was going to happen. I had no way of knowing this was going to happen to me. And they tried to put the stuff back off on me, which was a total BS lie. So let me talk real quickly about something. Let me talk real quickly about something um, to go with everything that's happening in the world and just the surprises and stuff that goes with those surprises. Nowadays we don't know what's going to happen from one minute to the next. It's impossible to tell. It's a you know One of the problems I have trying to make a video about things, and I'm guessing that prepping is going to go back up. I'm guessing that people are going to start being more preppers because I'm watching the world and the economy and everything else going back down. And I'm also predicting what's going to happen in the future. I don't think it's going to happen right now, but I'm noticing a lot more of these electric bikes riding around. People are riding around these electric pedal assisted bikes. That one boy had a nice one too. That one was probably $1,000, maybe $700, $1,000 bike, and that thing was moving too, buddy. You need to look it up. It's called e-bikes. It's an electric bike that has motors on it that put a big battery on, and they are pedal assisted. Um, I've seen people ride them to gyms. I've seen people riding trikes and stuff like that, different kind of things. And if you live close enough to a gym, or something, I mean, if you live close enough to work or something like that, or just in a place where that makes sense, where you got sidewalks, and then you're able to just to ride to work and stuff like that, and work's only 3 miles down the road, and those 3 miles are sidewalks, or you got a bike lane. Like we got bike lanes down in Charlotte. We don't have them here, but we have them down in Charlotte. But around here, I don't even have sidewalks. I have to ride along with traffic, which is going to put me at risk, and it's going to put more traffic being behind because of me. So that doesn't work out all the time, right? So it's not necessarily an option for me. More of an option for me would be a motorcycle or an actual more full size real scooter. More of a small motorcycle like a Navi maybe. That's a Honda Navi, which is $2,500. Um, that's tax tag title, brand new bike, carbureted, and it's got drum brakes. It's the basic as you can get motorcycle, but for $2,500, it's kind of like a little small bike. To get me down the road, the speed of traffic. I mean, they've also got, like, let's say Yamaha Zuma, which is a 125cc. Well, that's a $3,700 bike. You can even order, that's a scooter. You can actually order scooters online. That's 150 to 200, 150 to 200 cc's, and that would get you up to the speed of traffic anyway. And so you'd be able to go at least the speed of traffic with that. So the price would be, man, that would be a good deal for somebody who's doing pretty good. uh, well, who needs something to get back and forth to work, and you're only just a few miles down the road or something like that, or you're just going up to the general store for just a general quick run in or something like that. You know, those two bikes work perfect for you. Uh, those kind of things, bikes and scooters and stuff like that work perfect for you. So let me talk real quickly about the video. About one thing real quickly, so I can get this thing off my mind and actually make the video. But this thing here, I'm trying to put it in video in terms, which you can see it. But what it is, it's a scooter, and this thing just folds up. It's a fold-up scooter, and as you can see, I've also got the. Let me turn this thing around so maybe you can see it a little better. But I've got the um, brake lever on it, and I also what I had done is something I think is pretty smart, because if I'm out broken down at nighttime, I need something to be able to see. This thing gets pretty bright too. You got a lower setting, you got a higher setting, you got a blinker, and then this is actually supposed to be a brake light. This thing was made for bikes, actually. It wasn't made for us. But I figure this might give me a little bit of something so somebody can see a red light above in front of them in case I'm out at nighttime. So the reason why I bought this thing, you're probably wondering why I bought it. You know, as a prepper, it kind of makes sense. Why would you not have a scooter, and why not have a collapsible scooter? You just collapse it down with this little thing right here. You pull this up, and then it folds back down, and then you can carry it around the back of your car. All right. So then you got a headlight. Since you got a light there, you got a headlight too. So why not just go ahead and you can see the name of it. This is Camugo. I ordered this through Amazon. I wanted this one. They have some at Walmart, and the problem with the one at Walmart, it can work for adults. It can work for adults, but I'm 6'2" tall. I weigh 235 pounds. Let's say I've lost some weight, but 235 pounds. So you know, as a big guy like me, that's 235 pounds. 6'2" tall. I need something that's bigger that can work for me, for my size. And I've been riding this guy around a little bit and giving him a thing. Well, here's also a brake too. You see how this pushes down? This is a brake also. This is your rear brake, and then you got a handbrake too. And this is supposed to be your emergency brake in case something happens. I kind of prefer to use the emergency brake better. I just kind of prefer it. I don't know exactly how it works. I haven't really. Oh, I see how it works. Oh yeah, I see how it works. It's cable driven. It's got a little piece right here, right near. I don't know if you can see it when I squeeze it. Maybe you can't, but you can. But anyway, yeah, you can right there. That little piece right there, and then you got the big brake. And this is what you're actually supposed to be using more of, is the big brake. But the reason why I got this thing is because I just thought, well, what if I break down someplace? You know, I mean, I might need to get home or something. And I've been looking at maybe getting a bicycle, and I was looking for a bicycle that was just what they call a single gear. It's called a single gear. It's not a 10-speed. It's not nothing. It's the old type single gear. And if I could have found one, even with pedal brakes, that'd been fine in a single gear. But all the ones I find are what they call foldable bicycles that could be put in the back of my trunk, or 10-speeds, and then if me to fold it up, put it in the back of my trunk, it would take up too much trunk space for one thing. I actually ordered one and I sent it back. It would take up too much trunk space. It would be too big for my bike. I mean, too big for my trunk and everything else. It just wouldn't work well for me particularly. I just had this thing up there. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to put it back. Well, okay. Why don't you sit someplace? I don't care. Yeah, so I tried that, but it didn't work. And then because I had bought the bike, I'd also bought the helmet. But it kind of makes sense to have the helmet too, to go with the scooter, because I was watching some things about people was talking about the scooters, and they said they said that basically it's a good idea to also have a helmet because really, you think about it, if I'm out there and let's say a car knocks me off, or let's say I'm on the edge of the road and I'm too close to the side to the curb area, that road right there and that curb get uneven and you can slide off and then hit your head or something like that and get hurt in different ways. You go over top the handlebars, you could many things could happen. So this in particular has a turn knob. It works just like a hard hat basically. This thing's basically nothing but a hard hat. It's made by a company called Veltuno. If you can see that, this is actually a pretty good helmet and it's like $35 or so. They got other helmets out there. They got full face helmets. It's not like a motorcycle helmet, but just for general use, I feel like this would be pretty good to stop you from getting your head busted open and everything. Just put it on and let it roll. I mean, people might look at you kind of stupid or something like that, but that's fine. If you live only 2 or 3 miles, 2 miles, if you're going to live 2 miles from work too, something like this could also be an okay commuter or something like that to get back and forth to work if you're only 2 or 3 miles from work, and you got the right kind of conditions where, your 2 or 3 miles is sidewalk. Well, you'd get there in about a third of the time because the scooter will go pretty fast. You can get them going pretty fast. I mean, I'd say you get maybe kicking on a kick scooter, you might get 7 miles an hour. So 7 miles per hour, and let's say you work 3 miles down the road, you would get there in 25 minutes or so. Depending on how fast you want to go, but think about how much gas you would save too, and it'd be good for your health too. You get out there and get breathing and get some sunshine and everything else. So you just kick this thing on down to where you work at. It depends on where you work at and how far you work. And I mean, you don't want to go on a 7 or 10 mile stretch on one of these things. You're talking about an hour's time to get to work or so, and it's not going to be a very fun ride. But if it's not, let's say you break down and you're near the house, you're 2 miles down the road from the house, or even 5 miles down the road from the house, and you can ride these on the main road basically too. I mean, there's nothing that says you can't ride them on the main road. They're considered basically like a bicycle. They're a scooter, but they're considered like a bicycle, so you can actually ride them on the main road. You just can't ride them on the freeway. And what's considered a freeway is major highways and interstates. So interstates and major highways, 321 over here, like down in Hickory, that area, it's got areas that's as low as 45 miles per hour. That still might not be a great idea to be on, but you could do that in some of those areas. It's called a non-freeway area, but then you got the freeway area, and the freeway area is 65 miles per hour. I would take this on that 65 mile per hour thing because it's got blacktop just like an interstate, but the law says you can't do that. So you never know. And on top of that, you got to take into consideration another factor too. What if an EMP attack happens? Everybody says, well, I can just pick up the telephone and call Uber. Yeah, that might be so. You can just pick up a telephone and call Uber. I'm not going to lie and say you can't do that. It is possible. But then you got to take in the other factor is, what if the cell phone towers don't work because you had an EMP attack? All right. Another factor is, what if the roads that you're trying to cross isn't good enough to be able to cross with a car, and an Uber driver can't come get you for some reason or something like that. So there's other factors there. You can pick this thing up and then pedal on up the street to get past, just kind of kick on up the street to get past that little bad area, and then call the Uber driver and throw this in the trunk of the Uber driver's car or something like that. There's many different factors you could have that why one of these would be in use. Now, the price on one of these, this particular model, taxes delivered, everything else, costs $80 for this model, and the helmet's about $30. All right. Now you can get cheaper. You could get if this is one of the cheaper helmets for about $30, and you don't even have to have a helmet. I just recommend a helmet because of the factors of stuff that could happen. But if you don't want to have a helmet, that's fine. I mean, we rode these things plenty as kids without helmets, and we're still alive and still here today with a few more scars on our head. Uh, but you know, the fact is, we did ride these as kids without helmets, and we're all still here today. But I would recommend a helmet in case you're riding at nighttime. You know, and on top of that, even if you're riding during daytime, you don't know what might happen. You know, but more so at nighttime, it'd be a good idea to have a helmet. But now let me just say this though, at Walmart, I looked at the one they have. They have one at Walmart, and I wanted this one because it's able to handle a bigger guy that's 6 foot 2 inches tall, 235 pounds. Now, there's some out there that is for smaller people. Let's say you're 5'9" and you weigh 180, 170, 180 pounds, or you're 5'7" or so, or 5'8", you weigh 170 pounds, 180 pounds. They got a smaller one down at Walmart that's $45, and I think they actually have helmets that's cheaper than this guy. I just like the way that this helmet looked compared to the old standard bicycle helmet. I just thought that this would be a better helmet because I just like the ergonomics of it, I like the way it looked, I like the way that's set up more like a hard hat, and it's really good quality too. It's really tough. This helmet is. So I liked it, so I paid a little more money for it. So this is a little bit more of a higher roller package. So altogether, I got about $110 in this stuff, and that's to have a bike that I can that I can kick down the street. Now, but if you went to Walmart and let's say you got the $45 scooter, the $50 scooter, or even a $70 scooter, let's say 40, 45, $50 scooter, and then you got the helmet, maybe about $70 out the door. If you don't get the helmet, about $70 out the door. Oh yeah, then I also forgot, and this light kit with this is actually supposed to be for a bicycle, but this light kit is another additional $10. So I got about $120 in it. So, but this is also a solid frame steel, solid steel frame. It's an all metal design frame. So as you can see that shiny metal. This is steel, so it's not plastic. So, like I said, this thing, and also the handlebars compared to the conventional ones that go up about 40 inches or 41 inches, about 39 inches. The one at Walmart I think goes up 39 and a half inches. This is 41 and a half inches, and I'm 6'2", and I can handle pushing this thing along just fine with no problem. And I've already been pushing it along just fine with no problem. I've been out riding it and actually trying it out, wondering if it worked for me or not, wondering if I still had it like it did when I was a kid, and I was like, wow, I'm surprised. I still can kick them right along, just get on down the road. I'm really surprised with it. It's actually very nice. It doesn't have any miles on it. I don't plan on putting many miles on it. I'm not going to take it down here to the park down here, kick it many miles. But hey, that's just me. Now I will tell you this though, and let me come up with another option besides kick scooter. If let's say you live 4 miles down the road, if you work 4 miles down the road, and you just want something to get back and forth to work with, and let me just make a suggestion. Get on Craigslist, get on Facebook. I'm sure you got a friend with a truck. I'm just saying in a city. Now this isn't actually a situation that's going to be feasible for everybody. But let's just say you work, 3-4 miles down the road, and you want a better option than this thing, and I can't blame you. So get on Craigslist, get on Facebook. You can find bicycles on there for $45 a piece, and then we're talking about it as your main motive of transportation. This is something you throw in the trunk in case you break down. As your main mode of transportation. Look at maybe getting a bicycle, and it can be a pedal bicycle, it can be an e-bicycle, it can be a different kind of bicycle, any kind of different bicycle, right? So I would recommend to look into just getting a plain bicycle. I would look into maybe getting a single driven single gear compared to a 7 speed or something like that, or 3 speed, or a 7 speed. I would look into getting just a single gear that has a loose rollback action and it has two brake grips. Okay, if you can find it. Now, if you get all you can find is some kind of 7 speed for $45 on Amazon or something on down at on Craigslist or on Facebook, well, that's fine. I mean, you only paid $45 for it, so what the hell, man, right? Pardon French, but just look into that and just go for it, you know. And if that's something you need for just transportation back and forth to work, you want it for exercise, you want it just to ride back and forth to work because gas is getting too high, cost of living's way up, and nothing's coming down. Um, my mom is actually she's been able to, because of some kind of thing she's had with some kind of way that she's been able to actually get an extra $350 in food. It's $350 for buying food and stuff like that. They've given her extra $350 a month on her Social Security somehow. She figured out how to do it. It was through her health care plan, her United Healthcare. So United Healthcare is no longer going to give her $350 a month on a card. So now she's going to tighten her belt straps. So let's just say that you're in a situation where you're on a fixed income. You know, you may be. Well, maybe that's an option for you. You know, maybe that's an option for you. I mean, they even have actual scooters. They have actual electric scooters that can be driven. And now I don't think they're allowed to be driven on every single road. And here in the state of North Carolina, I think on scooters, electric scooters wise, the electric scooter it has a limitation of 25 miles per hour, only on the 25 mile per hour roads. It's not like a actual scooter. But, you know, I also would suggest maybe that if you're not that far from work, maybe looking into buying a gas scooter, because you can actually buy gas scooters for now on Amazon for $850. You know, so I think people in the future, and just the way that things are going to be headed, in my opinion, people are going to be looking at a lot of stuff on two wheels. They just are, I think. And also, like, if you have the money, but you're like, gas prices getting too high, cost of rent's getting too high, cost of living's getting too high, I'd say also maybe check out the Honda Navi. I mean, for $2,500 for a brand new Honda motorcycle, brand new Honda, for $2,500, that's tax, tag, title, everything out the door, and you're driving it down the street, man. For $2,500, you got a brand new Honda, and it's going to last you the next 20 years if you take care of it. So think about that too. If you want to get into the motorcycle route and even the scooter route, I'd say that I personally feel like scooters are just a bit more safe on the legs and stuff like that than bikes are, than motorcycles are. I've seen a lot of bad motorcycle crashes, but I have not yet seen a really horrible scooter crash. You know what I'm saying? Now, they got scooters that could get you into a horrible scooter crash, but most part, you know, scooters, they're an in-town thing. You're going less than 50 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour or less. You know, even on a full size, you're going 50 miles per hour or less. So, generally speaking, you're talking about something that's not going to get you in that bad trouble. Think about that too. And like I was saying though, and one of the main topics of the video is just kind of think about things, and try to think about things that could possibly go wrong and could possibly happen in the day of your life that you may be unforeseen. You know, look into buying you a well, you know, you could look into, let's say, having extra spare tires on rims and stuff, and you know, buy the rims at the junkyard that'll work for your car, and get some tires put on that thing. You know, you can go down to used tire places that will sell you a really good used tire, and every single week, I mean, about every single month, go out there and just get a bottle of Armor All, spray that thing down, and then there you go. You can have them out in the tool shed, and there you go. You got some tires, you know. think about things in your life, or things that could possibly happen with you in your life that can go to the bad, because a lot of things can happen, a lot of things can go to the bad, a lot of things can go wrong in your life. And when that happens, is you need to have something that will be there for you. Uh, like I said too, we don't know what the future holds. Having a bicycle you bought off Craigslist for $45, or wherever, buy the cheapest bike on Amazon. I think the cheapest actual bicycle on Amazon, shipping to your house for free, is about like 150, and that's a single drive. I think it's about 150, maybe cheaper, but I think that's cheap. I think maybe they have one that's $100. But like I said, you get on Craigslist, getting $45, man. I mean, 45, $80, and you get a higher quality bicycle than that cheap thing for, cheaper than that. So get on Craigslist, get on Facebook, call someone, pick it up, and just take it to the house, put it out in the tool shed. They got these non-puncture things, so that if you get nails in your tires, you won't actually get a flat tire on a bicycle, because you got these protection things that will protect your bike too. Bit of a pain in the butt to probably put in. I had never done it, but it looks like it'd be a bit of a pain in the butt to put in. And then you just put it in your bike, and then there you go. You won't actually get a nail in your tire, your bike. It's like some kind of red foam thing that you put inside the tire thing, and then you never have another. You won't have a thing. You won't have a flat tire. Think about that. Start thinking about things like that. They even if you're like, I'm older, so my balance isn't as well. Well, they have actually grown adult training wheels, for grown adults, and you can put training wheels on the back of it, and then there you go. You're still pretty good. Also, you might want to look at maybe getting a trike instead. If you're an adult, you have an imbalance, maybe look at getting a trike. I made too much of a long video about a bunch of bicycles. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and let this go for now. I'm just saying, giving you some food for thought. Think about it. Think about it. Think about, not only that, think about anything in the world that can happen. Just think about anything in the world that can happen. If tomorrow the EMP attack happened, what are you going to do tomorrow whenever this EMP attack happens? What are you going to do, let's say, about tobacco products or something? Have some tobacco in your storage too. Have some tobacco in your storage. Just take some tobacco, loose leaf tobacco. Have a pipe for smoking. A pipe you can smoke, and take some pipe tobacco. You buy it in a big bag down at the vape store. Buy in a big bag. Put it in a Mylar bag. Put some oxygen absorbers in it. Seal that thing up, and that tobacco will be there forever. It will be there for like 15 years, and you can still smoke it. So think about that. Think about many different things. Think about different situations. Think about variable situations. What variable situations can you find yourself in? I found myself in a lot of variable situations. I tell you another thing that you can do too. It's actually quite a good prepping item, and it's really not a prepping item. But it's just something you can do. But it's really not a prepping item. That's save change. It may seem ridiculous, but during serious times, you can actually save change. And when you save change, it would just pile up. Next thing you know, you got $100, $200 worth of change. So you can do that. There's many different things you can do. There's many different things you can think of. You can even look at maybe for your clothes. Get a washboard to actually wash your clothes in a washboard. Sometimes I think some of the simple, basic things that we have overlooked, like bicycles, scooters, washboards to wash your clothes with, clotheslines, stuff like that. Because we're in a modern society, everything's on a 3-day delivery system. We plan on going to work tomorrow. Remember what happened with COVID? You can't plan on just going back to work tomorrow. Remember that. All right. Remember what happened to my foot. If you haven't been subscribed to me that long, but remember what happened to my foot. I got hurt.
You may can't plan on going back to work tomorrow. That may not be in those cards for me to get up and go work Monday because because I messed my foot up, broke my foot, right? So that could happen to you too, okay? And then when that happens, take into consideration these different variables in your life that can happen based on what is. This can happen, 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 and this can happen. Am I correct? So when you kind of take that in consideration, just take into consideration everything. Okay. Some people are different than me. They have people that can get them through situations and can help them out better than what I can. But then other people are not. All right. And we may not always have each other. So think about that. And just like I said, get you a bicycle and get you a little scooter, get you a bicycle and put it up. If you look online, I mean, right now it's getting ready to be wintertime. Right now, I know that on Craigslist there's one right now that's listed for $45. It's like down in Hickory, but it's $45, and I could go pick it up now. But if you wait, you might could pick them up $35 a piece. I seen one on there, and it was three bicycles for $200 or something like that. And as it gets colder weather and people are not going to want to ride bicycles, they're going to look at that bicycle and they're going to say, okay, maybe I can just go ahead and get rid of this bicycle. Think about that. Get you another bicycle. Get you a bicycle. Look at it. Look at maybe what you can do. Anyway, I made this video too long. I'm not going to keep on rambling on, but just look at different things. Different situations you can do. Different things. Having some extra cloth laying around with some sewing needles and thread. Sometimes, like I'm saying, sometimes we have got too complicated in this lifetime. We are so dependent on gadgets. We're so dependent on things just working. We're so dependent on being able to get buy now, pay later plans, stuff like that. So think about this. Just think about this. You need to be able to actually be self-sufficient. Okay? So anyway, this thing's saying my battery's running low. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and you take it easy, but just think about what I said, okay? All right, be good at it. Take it easy.